Hey guys, in this video I'll be giving you my opinion on Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore, the Encore part in the title alluding to the fact that this is a remastered version of a game that came out for Wii U in 2015. It mixes elements from the Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem series, and I think it went under a lot of people's radars when it came out on Wii U, including mine. It's a weird game, that's for sure, but is it worth your time? Let's talk about it. So first, I want to talk about the story. In this game you play as Itsuki Aoi, a high school kid who is friends with Tsubasa Oribe, an aspiring idol looking to grow in the industry in an effort to uncover what happened to her sister after she vanished during a live performance when Tsubasa was a kid. Tsubasa is the actual main character in this game, with Itsuki taking more of a supporting role, really. As a matter of fact, Itsuki is a pretty boring character, but somehow every other character in the game seems to see him as a natural leader. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah. The story's focus really is on Tsubasa's growth as an idol, and the more epic, overarching plot really takes a step back for about 2/3 of the game. Personally, even though I love a lot of things about Japanese culture, the whole idol fandom is not something that interests me, so I found most of the story to be pretty boring. The other side of the story, which is more Fire Emblem-y, was slightly more interesting, but even then it was very predictable and cliché. I don't want to spoil it in this review, but I'll just tell you that you've seen the story before, only here it has a performing arts theme. This theme is very much present in all aspects of the game, from the story to classic RPG terms being renamed to fit it. Your party is called the casting, your equipment panel is your wardrobe, your usual character stats can be found in the artist screen, and there's plenty more stuff like that. There's also some cameos from classic Fire Emblem characters, which fans of the series will appreciate, however, you don't get a lot of interaction from most of them in the plot. Having said that, I don't mean to say the story is awful, and if you're a fan of idol culture or like watching cute anime looking characters do cute stuff, you might find a lot to enjoy in this story. There are even some occasional, really cool looking pre-rendered cutscenes in the Fire Emblem style. Alright, so now we'll talk a bit about gameplay. The battle system in this game is so fun, man. It's a classic turn-based battle system that mixes elements from the Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem series and adds its own twist to it. You can find classic spells from SMT such as Zio and Agi, and different characters wield different weapons such as swords, axes, and spears, the same weapon types you'd find in a Fire Emblem game. The main objective in battle is to exploit the enemy's weaknesses so that you can trigger long battle sessions. Sessions are sequences of attacks between your various party members that trigger when you exploit an enemy's weakness with certain abilities. For instance, if an enemy's weakness are swords and you attack it with a sword attack, all party members who have a session ability that chains from sword abilities will follow up your attack with one of their own. Now these start out fairly short, with 2 to 3 hit chains, but as you progress in the game and gain new abilities and party members, your sessions become long as heck, man, and they can even go up to 20 plus hits. This is one of the great things about the combat. It keeps giving you new stuff throughout the game, so you're not just repeating the same thing from start to finish. Once you think you've got combat figured out, it gives you new mechanics that make combat feel fresh and enjoyable. Outside of combat, you progress in the story by crawling through the many dungeons called Idolospheres that the game throws at you. These include plenty of combat, some light puzzle solving, and there are a few boss battles in each dungeon, and they can be challenging, especially if you're underleveled, and I have to say that I really liked some of the boss designs. As for extra content, the game has side stories you can pursue for each character, and these are, again, mostly focused on their growth in the industry. I finished all of them, but I found them to be filled with anime tropes and cringy moments, but I don't think I'm the target audience for that content anyway. Apart from character side stories, there's also quests that are super generic and basically amount to fetch quests, so I only did a few until I gave up on them entirely. This version of the game also includes the DLC that was released for the Wii U version of the game, and it adds some nice quality of life things such as a leveling dungeon where you can quickly level up if you feel you need to catch up, and a new side story that explores the more Fire Emblem-y side of the plot, and I found it more enjoyable than the other optional content. Overall, I thought the gameplay in the game was pretty solid, especially the combat system and the systems around it that kept it fresh. Overall, I enjoyed playing the game. I think the story is very hit or miss, but fans of this kind of setting will surely appreciate it. The gameplay was by far my favorite part of the game, and I would say that if you're a fan of turn-based combat, it might even be worth overlooking the weak story just to enjoy it. I really do think it's that good. I played the game for about 35 hours, and that included beating the game, doing all of the character side stories, and some other optional content. Having said all this, I struggled to decide between a 7 and an 8 for this game. But objectively, I don't think the story is very good, so I wouldn't feel right scoring it an 8. For that reason, my final score for Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore is a 7 out of 10. It's a fun game and one I don't regret playing at all. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into JRPGs and this kind of story isn't a big turn off for you. Anyway, thanks for checking out the review, take care, and see you next time.